So, hello, everyone. It is an honor to be here to guide you through this practice tonight. So, go ahead and find just a comfortable seated position, whether you're on the floor, on a chair, really, wherever you want to be. And just take a moment to close your eyes and just start to notice what's there behind your closed eyes. Maybe you feel your thoughts floating about, or your heart beating out of your chest, or the surface beneath you. And you don't have to force anything. Just let it be what it is. Practice just seeing. And that's what tonight is all about, seeing clearly, clarity. And that was sort of my inquiry to all of you, whether you read it in the email or not. But think about what clarity means to you. When have you felt it in your life? And can you remember where you were, what was going on? And it doesn't just have to be one moment. Maybe shine a light on all those different moments of clarity. And then just try to soften, relax the muscles of the face. The shoulders can roll and slide down. We're going to do a lot with opening through the shoulders tonight. And just starting to bring your attention into your physical body. Where are you holding stress or tension? What do you need to see clearly? What is your body asking of you? And just taking a moment of that inner quiet, which is really the grounds in which clarity starts to emerge. And if the mind starts to wander, don't worry, that's what the mind does. But can you come back to your body, back to your breath, back to the here and now? Just allow. And then let's all take a deep cleansing breath in together through the nose. And a big sigh out through the mouth. And notice that when you exhale, the shoulders naturally start to roll down. So let's exaggerate that together. So inhale, but this time try to elevate the shoulders up by the ears. Maybe a little hold at the top. Hold the breath, hold the stretch, and then on the exhale, start to release that back down. Don't rush, don't force. And then again, inhale, start to lift the shoulders up. Just a little pause at the top. You got this, feel it, squeeze. And then exhale, soften down. Beautiful. One more like that. Inhale all the way up. Hold, hold, hold. Make space for clarity, for calm, and release. Be here now. And then start to send some love to your neck, maybe some gentle circle. It's easy to want to rush, but take it slow, like half speed. So the tortoise instead of the hare. And if it feels good, you can always take your fingertips just to the opposite side of your head. You can even extend your other arm out to the side. Again, whatever you feel comfortable with, let your body be the guide. Starting to find that flow, that natural rhythm as you start to connect with your energy, your breath. Just let it flow. Maybe tuck the chin in, that gentle stretch through the back of the neck, a little self massage, never hurt. And just gently encourage the tightness to loosen, to release. Maybe the hands come behind the head. You can look up or start to bring the elbows in, just starting to warm up nice and slow. Almost like a seated cat cow but with these big opening arms. Elbows going wide, pressing the head back into the hand. And then curling in, chin in, elbows hug together. So inhale, open the chest, feel the lungs. And then exhale, close off, close in. Starting to send our attention to the heart. One of the core teachings in yoga is where our attention goes, energy flows. So what we focus on expands. So let's expand the heart all together. All of us practicing live and all of us who will be doing the recording at some other point in time. And then just come into that cactus arms. So opening across the chest, spread the fingers, hold, and then can you take just little micro pulses down with the elbows? Just down, 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 like a little bounce on a trampoline. Beautiful. Feel the shoulders go up and down. Stay with the breath. And then something radical. Extend the arms and then give yourself a hug. Because when was the last time you hugged yourself? So just be grateful that you are carving out this time for you. It's never wasted. I don't think you can feel worse after practicing. It's just not possible. Inhale, open up. One more time. Cactus arms, spread the fingers, smile, and then little pulses. Elbow tips down, open. Focus at the heart. Maybe you imagine a little sunflower, a lotus, your favorite flower blooming at the heart. And then again, arms go out like big, majestic wings. And then big hug. Opposite arm on top. But if you've forgotten, no worries. Tuck the chin in, just sway. Send yourself that kindness and compassion. And then, of course, sending some love to your wrists, to your forearms, any of your favorite ways to stretch. The wrists are not an area that you want to skip, that's for sure. So whether you rub and shake it out, can flip it upside down or bring them down to the floor, to the mat, whatever is calling to you. Maybe a good old shake it out. We made it through what, the 10 longest, darkest weeks of the year. So from here on out, we get more light. So that is something worth celebrating. So shake out any heaviness, any stagnation, any hurt or disappointment or pain or regret, whatever is coming up, just shake it out. It doesn't belong there. You don't need to carry it. Take the weight off. Take the heavy backpack off. And then when the hands feel a little tingly and numb, just bring the hands over the heart. And I invite you to plant the seed for your practice tonight. Whether you're seeking clarity or calm or connection in this amazing community, whatever it is, focus on it and let it expand. And then we'll send it out with that collective inhale together through the nose. Fill up, fill up, fill up. And then exhale, let it go. So if you aren't already on your mat, go ahead and make your way into child's pose. And we will start our gentle flow. Grab a sip of water or tea or whatever you need. So remember, in child's pose, you can have the knees closer together for more of a low back stretch, or you can take them a little wider to get more into the hips. The arms might want to be extending nice and long, or bringing the elbows down, hands over your head. And start to breathe along the length of your spine, from the base all the way up, sparking that clarity. Clarity isn't something you have to force. It's more of a state of being that you can cultivate. Few more breaths here, bringing your attention up and down the spine. You can add a little sway if you like. And then with your next inhale, rise to tabletop. And if you're dealing with some discomfort for your knees, don't be afraid to grab a blanket or something soft to pad your joints. There's no shame in doing that, especially when you're at home. You can pull everything you need in. And think about just swaying the hips like you're wagging your tail side to side. Maybe the spine starts to arch in a few cats and cows. Notice how your hands are making contact with your mat. Are you using your fingertips, your knuckles? So even being intentional with how we're making contact with the mat. Because everything builds from the ground up. Looking good, everyone. So just a few cats and cows. And gaze over the shoulders. Just a few more. And then just come into that flat back. So just pause here in stillness. Really try to zip the belly button up and in so everything is strong here. Hands are pressing down, shoulders are lifting, gaze is forward or down. And then bring one hand to the middle here, and we're just going to open into a thread the needle. So, whichever arm you'd like to start with, inhale, open. See if you can float the gaze up towards the tip of the thumb. And then on the exhale, start to bring the hand under the window and soften all the way down onto the floor, the shoulder, maybe the ear, the side of the head. But don't force it. If it's not there, that's okay. Your body will let you know. It's like, okay, I've gone far enough. Once you're down, can you relax the jaw, the muscles of the forehead? But keep the breath. Don't lose the breath. And then with your next breath, press down through the hand and start to elevate the shoulder of the arm you weaved under. Lift it back up. Feel this big extension here from fingertips all the way down to the floor. And then bring the lifted hand, the fingertips behind your head, and send the elbow back just a little more. And then on your exhale, bring the elbow down towards your inner arm. On the opposite arm, inhale, open up. 2 more. All the way down that little wing, tapping or getting close. 1 more here, all the way down. Use the breath. Feel everything starting to warm up. And then extend the arm one last time. Spread the fingers wide like sun rays coming out of the hand. And then that hand comes down. Switching to the other arm. Inhale, extend. Start with that straight as an arrow here, shooting out of a bow. And then exhale, start to thread it under, getting as low to the floor as you can. Beautiful. Softly lower. Maybe the other arm tucks under or reaches forward or helps you keep your balance. But notice if you stop breathing. Bring the focus to the breath and let the breath start to expand. And then before you know it, you can start to ease your way out, lifting the shoulder, lifting the arm straight up, reaching for the stars for your dreams. And then the fingertips come to the back of the head. Feel the stretch, hold it. And then on the exhale, the elbow starts to tuck down. And then inhale, lift it back up. Nice work. 2 more times. Don't rush. It's all right here. And then last but not least, stretch the arm up, reach up, reach up, reach up. And then bring the hand back down with control. Hips back into child's pose, just for a breath. Send them back, hips as close to your heels as you can. And then just warming up here a little bit more. I like to call this our mini vinyasa or our little mini flow. So staying on the knees from child's pose, come back through tabletop and then drop your hips down for your upward facing dog. And then press yourself back. So I'm pushing my hips back over the heels, kind of keeping that serpentine movement of the spine. And just do that a few more times. And you can make it a little funky. Maybe the feet lift. Maybe you add a little sway in the shoulders, press back. Keep it going. Round the spine, hips down, my arms stay straight, the heart opens. Maybe look up or straight ahead if that's too much strain on the neck. 3 doesn't feel like enough. 1 more. Use the breath. And then you have choice. Oh, choice. Feel free to set back in child's pose or find your first downward facing dog. Maybe tuck the toes. Find that inverted V. But think about really elevating the shoulders up and back. That's a huge cue. When I'm working it with my private lessons, a lot of students start to come forward here, almost like a plank. But you really want to press the chest back towards the thighs. You can even take your feet wider. Add a sway. Or just stay in child's pose. Maybe pedal out the feet, lift one heel. And breathe. Where is your attention right now? Start by shifting your focus. What can you see clearly? And then nice and slow, whether you're in down dog and can walk forward, or if you prefer, drop to the knees and then start to step forward 1 foot at a time, finding that glorious forward fold. So don't be afraid to bend the knees a lot. Let the ribs kind of come as close to the thighs as you can, and let the neck be like a noodle, a loose noodle here, just back and forth, releasing everything that obscures our vision, anything blocking our clarity, the lies we tell ourselves, the old stories, the beliefs, what society says, outdated labels, whatever it is. Can you just drop them here at the top of the mat? And then start to press down through the feet. Again, intentionally gripping through the toes, the knuckles, the heel, the four corners of the feet as we slowly start to rise all the way up. Inhale, reach the arms high. Maybe a little bit of a back bend, reach back, go back. And then melt down, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, bring the hands halfway. So to shins or knees, really try to pull the shoulders back. Nice. And then exhale, fold down, starting to wake up the backs of the legs. Push through the feet once again. Root to rise, stand tall. Reach up. And exhale down, bend the knees. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Inhale, halfway. Hands press to shins, flatten out the back as much as you can. Nice work. Plant the hands and then step your right foot back. And then softly bring the knee down, coming into a low lunge here. So if you're having trouble reaching the floor, you can always bring your hand to your knee, down by your sides. But just start to do a few of our half split low lunges. If you want it to be a little harder, perhaps try it with the arms lifted. Again, not rushing here, but think of it as sweeping, like a wave crashing over a big rock right at the edge of the shore. And then exhale, the ocean wave goes back into the deep ocean. All the way up, water splashing up, up, up. And then exhale, the tide pulls it back. One more time. Whether it's water, whether it's little beams of light coming up through the fingertips. And then all the way back. Hold here, hold here, hold. And then gently start to bend the front knee. Bring the hands back down, framing around the ankle. And then see if you can tuck those back toes under. And we're going to rise up into warrior one. So anchor down through your back heel. Make sure your pelvis is facing forward, not out. And then find those shining hands reaching up, but shoulder blades pulled down. Beautiful. And then remember our cactus arm. So bend the elbows, spread the fingers wide, bend into that front leg. And then take your right arm under your left. Oh, yes. Little eagle arms here. See if you can squeeze the forearms together. That looks good. Inhale, little lift. Option to tilt the chin back as long as that doesn't hurt the neck. And then exhale, can you start to straighten the front leg, but keep the eagle arms and just start to bow here. Almost like a mixture between humble warrior and our pyramid pose. Press through the feet, bend into that front knee, come all the way up. Feel the bind of the arms. And then release, shine it out. Go wide, cactus arms. Open the heart. And then one last time, straighten the front leg, but this time the hands can just slide down. If you feel a little unstable, shorten the stance and bow. You can either keep the spine long or round it here. And can you go, just relax the mouth. Let the stress go. Press through that front big toe knuckle. And then options here, depending on what you're feeling like your body needs. You can start to shift forward into your left foot, kicking your right leg up. If that feels like, nope, that's not happening, can you walk your back foot up into your forward fold? So either a standing split here, maybe rolling the ankle, you can bend or circle the knee if you'd like, or just simply hold your forward fold once again. Bend the knees, shake it out. And then inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands. See if you can step both feet back here. Maybe trying a plank or a modified plank on the knees. You can move back through that mini flow or come down into that push-up position or all the way to the floor. Inhale, press and open the heart. And then exhale back to child's pose or downward facing dog. You decide. And then nice and slow, once more, walking, stepping, or hopping your way forward. Notice where your attention is. Is it down at your feet? Can you focus back at the breath? And then push down through the feet. Inhale, root to rise. Come all the way up to stand, squeezing, reaching, leaning back. And then exhale, fold down, hinge at the hips, hands through the heart space. Bow the head, release, release, release. Inhale, halfway. And now the left foot, or whichever foot you didn't step back the last time, extends back. And you're just going to softly drop the knee to the mat. So again, it might feel good to just start nice and slow with a little hip sway, with the hands supporting you. Or if you really enjoyed sort of that balance challenge, hands can be at the top of your thigh here, or if you like the ocean wave analogy with the wave just kind of crashing over the rock. But let it be fluid, as graceful as you can. Amazing. Last time. And then you can bring the hands down around the foot. Start to tuck your left toes and plant the heel now. Rising up into our warrior one. So square the hips. Engage that back leg like you're zipping up all the way from that back heel. And then the left arm's going to come under for our lovely eagle. So squeeze and bend the knee. See if you can lift up just a smidge. Option to lean the head back if that's not too much. And then straighten the front leg. Keep the bind. Squeeze the arms just a little bit more. And start to bow. Shoulders round, squeeze in. And then come all the way back up. Bend the knee. Lift the arms. And then free yourself. And then the hands come down, straighten the right leg. So I like to think of that binding position as when we are not in a moment of clarity, when we're bound up in the mind. And then when we release the bind, it's like, oh, the light came in. Oh, I can take a breath. Then clarity can emerge. So again, you have those two options if you want to shift your weight into that front foot and lift or hop that left foot in, or just chill in your forward fold. Your hamstrings are probably talking to you a little bit. And fold. Shake it out. Let it go. And then pushing down through the feet nice and slow. Come all the way up. Energy rising from the feet all the way to the top. Hands to the heart. So just take a moment to ground down through the feet. Maybe grab one quick sip of water. And then just find that stable mountain pose. Perhaps a little space between the feet. And then once again, take the arms out in that T shape. We're going to take the right arm under the left and find that eagle bind one more time. So think of this as when we are closed off or closed minded. Everything feels like a struggle. And then see if you can bring that right foot over. And we're going to try to slide the foot up into a figure four. If that is like not happening, keep the toes down and maybe add a little bend through that left knee, a slight bounce. So think about shoulder blades down. Try your best to keep your back straight. I know it's hard. And then exhale, start to round. Very slow. You might fall out. That's okay. I just did. It's part of it. And then free your arms. Think of the eagle starting to soar, just seeing clearly the surroundings. And then lift yourself up. Try to unhook the leg and bring both feet down. Good. Shake it out. Amazing job. Now your mind sort of knows what to expect. So notice if the second side feels any less scary. And then when you're ready, arms go out. So feel that stretch through the heart, through the lungs, through the collarbones. And this time the left arm goes under. You can reach at the wrist. If that doesn't feel good, you can always grab the shoulders. Little bend through the knees, but start with the back straight. Toes can be your anchor point, or try that figure four. Maybe you are courageous and try a little bounce. And then on your exhale, start to round, round, round. Tuck the belly in. Doesn't have to be all the way. And then start to free anything that's blocking that clarity. One last balance pose, you know I can't do a class without it, is our tree. So roots down, and then pull the nourishment that you need. What do you feel has been lacking this month? January is always an especially tough month, and it seems to last forever too. But think about pulling in rest and love and all of the essential nutrients that you need, that your soul needs, that your body and your mind need. And perhaps you come back to that blooming flower to remind us that what we focus on blooms and expands. And if you fall out, then you know it's time for just a quick forward fold to reset. Close the eyes, bend the knees, and release. Fold, fold down. Push through the feet nice and slow. Come on all the way back up. One last side. You got it, team. So opposite foot, either keeping it anchored. If you're feeling a little unsteady, that's okay. Maybe the flowers blooming at the eyebrow center, at the navel center, or out into the palms. Again, don't be so serious. It's just a pose. It's what's happening inside that's really the magic. And when you fall out, start to fold. And then inhale, lift halfway, shine the heart. And then gently step back either into your plank, your modified plank, or back into child's pose. One last little mini flow or vinyasa. And then pause back in child's pose. If it feels okay, maybe turn your head to one side and just take the hands, tuck them back by your feet. And then to balance it out, go ahead and turn your cheek to the other side. So this class was inspired by this quote that's been haunting me for months. Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the mind is clear. Can you remain unmoving until the right action arises by itself? So, from child's pose, I'm going to invite you to start to come down onto your back. And just give yourself a second to adjust to being on in a different space. And as we start to shift into more of the yin like part where we're going to hold just for a little bit longer, you might want to have your blanket or put your socks back on. So I'm going to invite you to, on your back, bring the soles of your feet together, coming into that reclined butterfly. And you might like to bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Make sure the shoulder blades are nice and rolled under. So there's this analogy of the mind being like a lake. And when the mind is overly active, when we're stressed, when we're over analyzing, we are stirring up the water and making it impossible to see clearly at what is beneath. So the practice of yoga isn't asking us to fix the water or to scrub the mud out of it. It simply asks us to stop stirring it. And what's amazing is even if water is muddy, like you've been stepping in it and all this debris is starting to come to the surface, if you stay still just long enough, everything starts to settle. That mud, that sediment starts to fall back down to the ground. And then the surrounding water starts to clear. So think about in this pose, breathing into the belly. So below the navel center. So inhale, puff the belly. And then exhale, I want you to go like a ha. And allow the breath to start to settle the stirring in the waters of the mind. In the Yoga Sutras, one of the major messages is that yoga is the stilling of the fluctuation of the mind. And when the mind is settled, then we can see our true nature, clarity. So let's try that again. Inhale to the belly. But this time, inhale up to the heart, expand the heart. And then, Keep exhaling. Exhale, exhale, exhale. All the sediment, all the mud, all the dirt. Just let it out. And see what remains. And again, inhale, puff the belly. Inhale up to the heart. Big pause out through the mouth. So I want you to think of the sun. So just seeing the sun in the sky. No clouds, just this bright, piercing blue sky and the radiant sun. But then these dark storm clouds start to appear. And they get closer to the sun. And before long, the clouds blot out the sun. It's like the sun isn't even there. The clouds are so thick. And it's easy to think that the sun isn't there because it's obscured, it's blocked. We cannot see clearly in that moment. But clarity gives us the ability to remember that the sun is still there. And before you know it, there's this break in the clouds and you see this little glow. And then maybe a few beams start to sparkle out behind the clouds. And there it is, this moment, this bursting of clarity, of seeing clearly. So feeling that warmth surrounding you from the sun that's no longer obscured by the clouds. And then very gently start to close the legs. So start to bring the knees, the thighs together. And I just want you to lift the feet up, just kind of curling into that little ball, maybe rocking side to side. So easy to forget that the sun was there all along. It didn't abandon us, it didn't leave us. It was just hidden. And a lot of times, our truth, our path is muddied. And we need to slow down and remember that it's right there. It's beneath the chaos. The calm is always there, it hasn't left. So now we're going to come into a supine twist. So you're welcome to either keep both of your legs together or just gently let one leg come over if that feels more nourishing. So either both knees to one side, and I'll encourage you to bring your head just softly over to the other side. Or even just a gentle rock of the head if the neck is really tight. So you can also think of clarity as, a dirty mirror or a dirty window. And it's just, there's little specks and streaks, and it's hard to see clearly. But once you wipe that clean, suddenly everything just shines. It's like You've just peeled this new layer. So, what is asking to be removed? What film is asking to be removed in your life right now so that you can see clearly? Clarity doesn't mean we have all the answers. It doesn't mean we predict the future. It's just this confident knowing. It's like, that's it. There's no doubt. You just know. It's like the little light bulb emoji. It's like, oh, there it is. It's almost like it arises on its own, like it comes from somewhere else. Can you think of a moment like that in your own life? Where when you settled, when you slowed down, a new path emerged, one that you might not have even expected or predicted, but you just knew that you had to walk down it. It's like you were being pulled. Two more full breath cycles here on this side. And then slowly start to pull the knees back and in, giving yourself a squeeze, a hug. And then just gently allow your knees to fall to the other side. Either one leg draped over or both knees together. And as you hold this side, maybe repeat to yourself, I allow the mud to settle. I don't need to force clarity. I can wait. It can wait. Do you have the patience to wait until the mud settles and the mind is clear? And clarity arises all on its own. The clarity you're seeking isn't ahead of you, it's underneath. It's underneath the movement, underneath the noise, behind the clouds. It's there. Can you rest here long enough for that chaos to shift into calm? Can you rest in restlessness? Two more breaths here. And then again, slowly start to pull the knees back into the chest. And give yourself just a little yogi play, maybe extending the legs up or taking them out into a straddle or a happy baby. Or perhaps you want to scooch near a wall to take legs up the wall for your Shavasana. Just give yourself this time, like the tree pulling nourishment from all around it, from below, from above. Can you do that? Give yourself 30 more seconds here before we intentionally settle into stillness. And finding the pose that feels the most comforting. It might be curling up in a ball or legs up the wall, or your traditional Shavasana, maybe with something propping your knees up, or and just gently start to settle now. Close the eyes back down or softly cover them. The ironic thing is, a lot of times when our eyes are closed, we can actually see more than when our eyes are open. So, can you see beneath the sensory world, going down deeper into the roots? We may not choose what arises, but we can choose where we place our attention. And that's where the power is. Every time the mind starts to stir the mud up, can you notice and say, wait a minute, I see what's happening here? And then pause, and the mud will start to drop back down. What has been stirred up in your life? Maybe today, this past month. And how can you cultivate more stillness for clarity to naturally emerge? There's the symbol of the lotus. You may have heard no mud, no lotus. Of course, there's going to be mud in our life. Our mind is designed to move, to be active. But when you can recognize that, then the mud starts to turn into little blooming lotuses. Do you see fear or possibility? Do you choose to see scarcity or sufficiency? The wound or the wisdom? The problem or the next loving step? So as you rest here, let the waters still. And may you see just a clear reflection of everything in and around you. Allow clarity to arise through presence, not pressure, not force, not control. Clarity feels gentle, effortless, honest, spacious. Clarity is not certainty of the future. It is not eliminating emotion or pain. It is not having all the answers. Clarity is seeing what is true right now. Acting from alignment rather than reaction. When the mind is calm, the whole world surrenders. So allow your mind to be so calm. So notice the glimmers. What is shining through the noise? So, once again, bringing back that image of the sun being blocked by all the clouds, but you know it's there. And as the clouds part, that light starts to surround your whole body. So see that sunlight just surrounding you, enveloping you, circling you. All it takes is one candle in the darkness to help you see. So feel the body getting lighter, the heart lighter, the mind lighter. And then just come back to the heart space. Feel your heart expanding with the truth of who you really are. Beneath the clouds, beneath the muddy water, beneath the filters, the stories, the patterns. Connect with your light. It's still there. It was always there. We just lost focus. We got distracted. We forgot. See the candle at the heart. So bright. Join me in taking a deep breath in through the nose. And just a gentle exhale out through the mouth. Very slowly start to bring your attention back into the physical body. Just slowly start to wiggle out the fingers, the toes, just moving so slow. Perhaps giving yourself a big full body stretch, just thanking yourself for showing up, for being present. And then when you're ready, just curl up and rest on one side in that little seed position. And think about what you would like to plant. Seeds of clarity, seeds of hope, seeds of growth, transformation. Turn your mud into lotuses. Just let your regular breathing return. And then ever so slowly start to find your way back to a seated position. And keep your eyes closed to just stay in that inner experience just a little bit longer. And like we began, just relax the shoulders down and away and just feel how much more space you have, not just in the body, but the mind and the heart. And once again, taking that breath in through the nose, but we'll hold it just slightly. And then that big exhale out. Making space for what's to come. And again, inhale. Gentle pause. And then exhale, release. And then start to float both palms up, beginning to reach, remembering that you are that light in the darkness. And together we can help each other shine even brighter. Maybe that candlelight flickers side to side. Bringing the candle to the heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me. May your life have abundant clarity and joy and hope for the future. Namaste. So I would like to, again, thank everybody, but if you have to go, you can go, but I'd like to just hold space. If we can try to take turns and talk or share, but anything that, whether it was thinking before the practice about moments of clarity or maybe throughout the practice tonight, anything that came up or anything you'd like to say to our little mini collective here, I'd love to hear it. Don't all go first, though.
Well, I'll go first. I want to thank you for a beautiful class. I feel like a new woman. Yes, and it's very important, I think, right now that we all come together and connect and bring forth a lot of love for each one of us.
Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you, Sarah. It's good to see you again.
It's so good to see you again, Sharon.
I hope to become more regular.
Good. For all of us, me included.
We need this flow. I'm telling you, I needed this because I feel like I've lost balance, and I needed this. So good. I feel good.
Good.
I'm hurting right now, but I feel good.
Me too.
It's wonderful to practice with you. Thank you.
It was beautiful, Sarah Beth. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. I have been very much looking forward to this, and today is my birthday, and this is
happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
So thank you all for being here for my birthday too.
Oh,
I think we need to sing you happy birthday now.
That's okay. Too many people.
May not know what you're asking for there.
Yes. Well,
all right. Bye. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Fran. I'm so glad you got to be here.
You know,
Thank you, Sarah.
I felt clarity when I fell in love with my husband.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is.
Clarity.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for that. Was wonderful.
Yes. I can't get off. Bye.
Mary Jane, see you later.
I can't.
Take care.
Bye.
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 Bye, Lark.
Bye. I was tingling all over and I still am.
I love it. I love this. I love all of this. I literally just wanted to hear everybody's voice.
I know. So can we just stay here forever?
It's the snowstorm that's coming.
Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you. I miss you so much.
We'll all be together soon. It's going to happen.
I know it's going to happen. This was needed this. Thankful for you. So grateful for you.
Yes,
So grateful
me
for all
too.
of you.
Nikki, I miss you too.
Sweetie. Love you all.
Love you all.
Love you.
Bye-bye.